Queen Margaret welcomes her daughter Princess Léonor in Denmark today. The world watched with breathless anticipation today as a moment years in the making finally unfolded, a reunion so steeped in tradition, symbolism, and royal destiny that it may shape the future of two monarchies. With flashes from cameras bouncing off the polished marble of Copenhagen airport and murmurs rippling through a sea of reporters, one royal figure emerged like a scene from a fairy tale. Princess Léonor of Spain, stepping onto Danish soil to be welcomed by none other than Queen Margaret of Denmark herself. What happened today wasn't just a state visit. It wasn't just a formality. It wasn't even simply a warm motherly greeting. It was a moment layered with meaning, personal, political, and perhaps even romantic, sparking conversations across Europe about what the future holds for the young princess standing at the crossroads of two kingdoms. And if the dazzling smiles, soft whispers, and unmistakable pride on Queen Margaret's face were any indication, this visit marks the beginning of something much bigger than a diplomatic courtesy. A reunion the royal world has waited for. As Léonor descended the steps of the aircraft, dressed in a tailored winter white coat that shimmered in the morning light, Queen Margaret stepped forward with her arms open. The embrace between the two was long, warm, and heartbreakingly sincere, the kind of hug that told a deeper story, one not captured in official press releases. Why did this simple gesture send Europe buzzing? Because it was the first time in years the Queen had formally welcomed her daughter to Denmark in such a public, ceremonial manner. While both women have met privately before, this visit was different. This was intentional, official, symbolic, and, as many royal commentators noted, perfectly timed. Princess Léonor, Europe's rising star. At just 19, Princess Léonor has become one of the most talked about young royals in the world. Since turning 18 and taking her oath to the Spanish Constitution, the future Queen of Spain has risen to international prominence. But Léonor's influence goes beyond her role in Spain. Her education abroad, her poised presence during major national ceremonies, and her increasingly close relationship with several European royal families, especially Denmark's, have positioned her as a modern royal with global appeal. Her arrival today was accompanied by cheers from Danish citizens stationed behind velvet ropes, waving both the Spanish and Danish flags. Many held homemade posters with Léonor's name, while younger fans wore flower crowns resembling her iconic Asturias blue sash. It didn't take long for hashtags like #Léonor in Denmark, #Queen Margaret, and #Royal Reunion to begin trending across Europe. The Queen's subtle message to Europe. Observers noticed that Queen Margaret chose to wear a brooch she reserves only for monumental family occasions, the pearl and garnet cluster once worn by her own mother, Queen Ingrid. This jewelry choice, royal analysts say, was not accidental. It was a gesture of legacy, said one royal historian on Danish television this morning. By wearing that brooch, Queen Margaret was sending a message: Léonor is not just a guest, she is family. This small detail only fueled speculation about the deeper meaning behind the visit. Some believe Queen Margaret is gradually preparing not only her son King Frederick and his children for the future, but also reinforcing bonds with future European monarchs that could reshape alliances in the decades to come. And if anyone is destined to play a major role in those alliances, it's Léonor. A visit filled with warmth and whispers of romance. Of course, no royal event involving Princess Léonor would be complete without whispers about one particular European prince. And yes, Prince Christian of Denmark was notably present. Standing beside his grandmother as Léonor arrived, Prince Christian greeted her with a bow, followed by an unmistakably warm smile. The two exchanged a brief conversation, just long enough for the cameras to capture Christian leaning in slightly, Léonor laughing softly, and Queen Margaret watching them both with a knowing expression. This only added fuel to long-standing rumors. For months, social media and European tabloids have speculated about a growing closeness between Léonor and Christian, both heirs to their respective thrones, both poised to lead their nations into a modern era. Though neither royal family has ever confirmed anything beyond friendship, their shared appearances, mutual engagements, and strikingly compatible personalities have fans convinced there's more beneath the surface. Today's reunion certainly did nothing to quiet that speculation. In fact, it amplified it. A unified vision for the future. Throughout the day, Léonor and Queen Margaret attended a private luncheon at Amalienborg Palace, followed by a tour of the Queen's art collection. The palace released a short clip of Margaret and Léonor walking arm in arm through the halls, deep in conversation. The Queen was smiling, genuine, full, proud. Léonor looked radiant, elegant but relaxed, like someone truly at home. Royal commentators were quick to notice the ease between them. This isn't just protocol, noted a royal correspondent for TV2 Denmark. There's real affection here. Léonor is more than an honored guest, she's being treated as one of their own. And this closeness matters. As Europe faces shifting political landscapes, the friendships and alliances among future monarchs hold a quiet but powerful influence. With King Frederick taking on more duties, and Christian preparing for a future kingship, the Danish royal house seems intent on strengthening bonds with Spain, beginning with Léonor. Princess Léonor's growing royal network. This visit also comes at a strategic time for Léonor herself. As she continues her military training, public duties, and royal education, building relationships with other future leaders is essential. Over the next several days, Léonor is scheduled to meet with Danish youth organizations, attend a joint sustainability summit with Prince Christian, visit historic Danish institutions alongside Queen Margaret, participate in a private state dinner at Amalienborg. Every appearance further cements her growing role on the European stage. And every interaction with Prince Christian gives royal watchers more to talk about. A moment that feels like a beginning. Today's events didn't just capture attention, they captured hearts. Something about the imagery felt timeless. Léonor stepping confidently into her role as a future queen. Queen Margaret embracing her like a daughter returning home. Prince Christian's quiet, unmistakable admiration. It felt like the start of a new chapter, not only for Princess Léonor, but for the future of European royalty. A chapter filled with promise, tradition, and perhaps even the beginnings of a royal partnership that could one day unite two thrones. For now, though, the world is simply watching, captivated, as a young princess continues her journey toward destiny, welcomed by the queen who sees in her not just potential but legacy. If you'd like, I can also create